Like and subscribe right now, or else this will be in your bed tonight. What's the most American thing ever that, if explained to a non-American, might just sound crazy? As a Brit, what shocked me was learning about just how huge your college sports games are. A university/college football, soccer, team game here might draw a crowd of a few hundred. A friend who went to the University of Texas told me their American football stadium seats 100,000. What the actual fuck? Want a weirder fact? The highest paid state employee is a college football coach in 25 states, and 15 states it's college basketball coach. Edit. Hey guys, I'm not really commenting on the ethics of this. I understand football brings in large sums of money for the college, and I also understand ticket sales and donors pay the largest portion. Just commenting that my alumni's head coach makes $9.3 million a year, and it's weird to me that 40 other states can claim a coach as their highest paid. Apparently the US Army has a football team, and my tax dollars paid the coach of that team $932,521 in 2016, and a $50,000 bonus for beating the Navy's football team. Wow, you must make a ton of money to pay that dude's salary. I get by with a little help from my friends. You would probably be even more surprised at how big high school sports are, especially here in Texas. As a South African, what amazed me was the competitors call each other out in advertisements. I couldn't believe it at first, it seemed so unusual. Yes, this is so weird. I thought it was made illegal. I once saw the Sega Does What Nintendo thing, and I was like, what lol, I got this many upvotes by what, saying a catchy thing I saw once in an ad. Advertising prescription drugs to regular people on TV. Obligatory rapid voiceover following mention of meds. Prescription drugs may cause side effects such as headache, nausea, diarrhea, loss of balance, loss of sight, loss of hearing, loss of other senses, loss of common sense, heart palpitations, heart arrhythmia, heart attack, other Demi Lovato songs, rashes, acne, boils, simmers, chronic earwax, acute belly button lint, athlete's foot, tennis elbow, couch potato butt, depression, anxiety, Scientology, multiple sclerosis, single sclerosis, divorced sclerosis, it's complicated sclerosis, paralysis, hyperactivity, TikTokism, time travel, matrixism, Marxism, sudden clarity and awareness of your surroundings and situation, existential dread, suicide, and enlarged earlobes. Ask your doctor if prescription drugs are right for you. When I was in Tennessee as an exchange student for a year, I was surprised by the team spirit of each high school. Like how there was a football game every Friday night and almost all of the school was there to cheer them on. That would never happen in my country. Spectating as a high school kid was mainly a way to socialize, meet up, and find out where the parties were. At least when I was in high school, pre-cell phones, that's what we did. No one really watched the actual sport because it's rarely a quality game. Hospitals buy ad space on billboards. I've never left the country, but we must be the only country that has hospitals advertising like Burger King. Yep. Here, NZ, you just go to your nearest hospital. My best friend struggled for years to live a normal life here because she is bipolar, and a single one of her 3 medications is $1,200 a month. She ended up moving to NZ and becoming a resident, and is finally stable, happy, and living a very productive life because your healthcare system isn't insane. I'm from the NL, and honestly I have many questions for the US. Most burning on though is why are your toilet stall doors so damn high above the ground? I don't know, and I'm still not used to it. The worst is the size of the cracks between the door. The amount of times I've made eye contact with someone while sitting on the toilet is more than I'd like. At my work, not in the US BTW, because of how shiny the tiles are, you can look under the gap and make eye contact with the other person taking a dump next to you via the reflection. It's weird. When purchasing an item, the listed price is actually not the amount you'll have to pay at checkout, it will be more. Wait, for everything? Like if you go to IKEA and buy a cupboard or something, the price on it isn't the actual one. I knew restaurants do that because of your weird tipping culture, but if it's everywhere, then that's just bizarre. They don't add sales tax until you get to the register. This is entirely dependent on state. Some states add the tax to the price. Some states have no sales tax at all. I think I will use this thread and ask something to you Americans. Are the movie stereotypes of cheerleaders and football players true? Do all schools have a football team with associated cheerleaders? And are the people who join them usually popular kids? I'm only right upstairs in Canada, but I've never even heard of a school that has cheerleaders. Also, what is a homecoming dance? Almost all high schools have football teams, and if there is a football team there is likely a cheerleading squad. Sports are expensive, whether buying equipment, going to camps, or traveling to away games, so the kids aren't necessarily popular, but are usually not poor. Typically outgoing types join sports as well. Perhaps the sports even contribute to their outgoing personalities by giving them frequent socialization. The cheerleaders undergo extensive dance and gymnastics training in addition to competitions and games. So also expensive and lots of socialization. The best chicken joints in the hood usually have bulletproof glass. Walmart you can get a haircut, buy a gun and ammo with your groceries. You can get a haircut in a hypermarket. That actually sounds cool. Yup, my Walmart also has a bank and eyeglasses part, nail salon too. Florida. Sometimes I wonder if these Florida man articles are even legit. Florida just seems crazier because they have very good sunshine laws that make police records easy to obtain by news organizations, so Florida man is easy clickbait. French guy who lived in NC for a while here. To me, the weirdest thing was all the advertisement for prescription drugs on TV, radio, and online. It's crazy waking up in the morning and suddenly, while you're having your morning coffee and cereals, your TV starts spewing stuff about some random meds, like they are Tic Tacs you can just arbitrarily decide you need. The worst is honestly the mandatory side effect warning at the end of every ad. I nearly choked on my egg sandwich the first time that voice came up warning people about horrific stuff that could potentially happen if they took the drug. I have lived in quite a few countries around the world, and the US is the only place where I saw this. One of my Canadian friends told me that back in 2003, when France, refused to take part in the war against Iraq, some Congress cafeterias and some restaurant in the USA renamed French fries and freedom fries. I think it's the most passive aggressive and American thing you could have done. Plus, fries come from Belgium, not France. Shooting a red sports car into space seemed like a pretty quintessentially American thing to do. Adverts for medication. You've got happy people and stuff in the ad and then it may cause death. Not an American, Brit, but when I watch live streaming Premier League on American channels, all legal of course, I honestly find the advertisements so strange. They're so aggressive. I don't know if that's the right word, but honestly it's a fun experience. The car adverts are the best. Edit, my first gold. Thanks a lot kind stranger. I honestly couldn't believe people had to worry about calling an ambulance because of the fees. Like, WTF. Imagine being seriously hurt or sick and hesitating to call an ambulance and having to think about how much it will cost. Can't imagine it. Imagine being diagnosed with cancer and calculating if it would be better for your spouse and kids if you just died. Play the national anthem at almost every event. A lot of the ardent nationalism started during the Cold War, when US leaders were afraid the country would go communist, so they promoted nationalism to the point of fanaticism. This is when all the references to God were added into the Pledge of Allegiance, and added onto our money as well. Despite us being a secular nation, the Cold War is long over, but we aren't changing now. Warehouse type grocery stores, Costco, Super Saver. My great uncle from Australia would always take photos in my Korean, non-Seattle friends thought this was crazy we'd have so much space for a grocery store. I'm totally Irish, meaning your great-great-grandfather's uncle once had a pint of Guinness. As an actual Irish person, check username if you don't believe me. I can tell you aren't, because you spelled Guinness wrong. Do you guys know what s'mores are? Edit, I get it, you've seen the Sandlet. You're killing me Smalls. I know the concept, but I never tried it. It sounds nice. It's okay to walk around with a gun, but not a beer. Edit, 40 of the 50 states do not require any license to carry a firearm openly. Health insurance, premiums, deductibles, co-insurance, co-pays, out-of-pocket maximums, in-network, etc. It's an insane amount of knowledge that you need to have to make a good decision about your health coverage. And no one teaches you any of this shit. You have to go and learn it yourself on the internet. Thank you very much for watching. In the comments under the video, write something on this topic. And also do not forget to watch our other videos. Bye.